Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, my name is Arafire. Welcome back to another episode of Look Out and Shout. It's going to be the last one for a while, off to TF Nation soon, but I wanted to get this one out first. And you probably guessed where we are now. Today we are finishing off the Stunticons, at least in terms of release. Today we are reviewing Fanstoys FT-31D Smokey, their version of a G1 Dragstrip. Would you believe this figure I had once before? This was kind of what started me off and then coincidentally stopped me. I was getting this figure, I did get this figure, was going to go down this route with Fanstoys, and I decided to not. I had the figure and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I just, for one reason or another, decided I wasn't going to continue with it, particularly with the charade of 7 to 8 years to finish a combiner. Will they finish a combiner? How was it going to combine? I decided I didn't want to stick around for it and I moved this on. So this is the second time I've had this figure. Box itself has a typical Fanstoys artwork on there, very nice. On the back you have somewhat limited product shots, and I like the fact, if you can see it, you have like a centre offering with Smokey in the middle and the other releases behind, but all kind of greyed out to say that, you know, he needs more vibrance, more colour. And then the typical biopic as well. Inside the box comes the figure itself, along with instructions and a collector's card, along with a couple of accessories. Let's get on with the review, shall we? And there he is in his robot mode. Cuts a slender figure, very slender. Not bad, but it's always struck me as a very unimaginative robot mode. I guess he doesn't carry a lot of his car kibble, save of course the massive wheels. It doesn't really look like he's got much of a rear wing on him or even front wing. He's just very, I don't want to say rectangular, because he is and he isn't. It doesn't look like he obviously transforms into a car, okay, aside from the obvious big rubber wheels and the engine on his chest. It's not exactly got the hood of a car as his chest, like say a Sideswipe for example. But it's very, very nice colour scheme. I just noticed actually, and you'll see more as it comes round, I didn't realise that his kind of inner kneecaps, one is painted and the other one's metallic, and I thought, oh, I've done something wrong. Checked the instructions and I thought, oh no, that is right, it's this right hand one. It's a chrome which I believe is going to be part of the latching mechanism for the combine mode, but I haven't got him into the combine form. We're not going to put him in combine form today. We'll do that when a combine video comes out after Bandit's released. Otherwise, yeah, nice enough. Nice eye visor. You'll see more of that in a second. Got the nice Fanstoys deftness. There is almost noticeably more die-cast here. It certainly just feels like there's a bit more heft. Let's get in for a closer look. Show you the head sculpt. The red eye visor is very nice. It's a bit of an unimaginative face sculpt, a bit of an unimaginative head really. He's got this weird orange side panels and then a little purple hat. It's an odd design, but it looks like Dragstrip. Can't say it doesn't. The accents of the gold die-cast I really like. And there's that bit around the knee that you would just see. It's just enough little things to break it up, otherwise it is just solid yellow. I think I got the feet tabbed in right. It was reminding myself how the transformation went. I think the wheels maybe cascade in a bit more, but then they knock this out. I think that's right, I could be wrong. I've only transformed this back a couple of times. But yeah, broadly speaking, he looks really nice. Now I might as well show you his alternative face sculpt that he comes with. He comes with a very nice smirky face, which is quite cool actually. So we're going to try and get that on him now. Just to show you, the top of his hat does come off. Then on goes a new face into the groove. Much better for the character. Smirky, red sculpt, very nice and can make all the difference. And of course he comes with not one, but two guns. Why two? I know the original toy had kind of a twin blaster effect going on, a bit akin to something like that, but two guns seems a little bit greedy. I don't know. But he does come with them. Now, I've tried this before. I think one of the hands doesn't grip properly on my copy. It's not to say that every copy's like this, but certainly on mine, I think I have some trouble with it. Yeah, so on my copy, his right hand, that doesn't really hold in at all. That's more or less the fingers just gripping it into position. It's very loose. I don't really know why. There looks like there's enough of a peg there and enough of a gap there. It just won't seem to bite in. His left hand is fine, but yeah, this one I can wiggle loose quite easily. That one is a bit more bitten in. So, bit of a shame, particularly when he's got two guns. I reckon I'll just keep one of them in the box. I do find I keep having to reset him every time I pick him up, be it at the hips or the legs or ankles. But I'll show you some articulations. So head can go all the way around, a bit on the stiff side, and then his face comes off. Can you settle down now? Okay, good. But otherwise, yeah, can look up, can look down a smidgen. Shoulder rotation all the way around on a friction, outward and a little bit upward nicely. bicep rotation, but only singular bend at the elbow. I don't think there's anything more there. If I open up the arm, no, just a singular bend at the elbow. Wrist rotation and individual finger movements, thumb movements, a little bit stuck together. You do get individual poses, but they're quite close, so you sort of drag the other fingers out as well. Waist rotation, full 360 round, because he's got no back kibble to bump into. No ab crunch, and I'm confident to say there's no ab crunch this time, even though on the previous reviews for Rogue King and Spoiler I said there was no ab crunch, and there was. My bad on that one. All the way out, no ratchet, surprisingly, just friction, but all the way out to 90 degrees, yep. That's more friction than ratchets. It sounds like ratchets, but it's not. But you get 90 degrees to the back, friction all the way out to the side. Very nice. Knee bend on a softer ratchet, 90 degree, and a pretty decent ankle tilt actually, but yeah, that will hold nicely enough. Does the basics, looks pretty good, fairly okay for accessories. Not bad at all. Okay, on to some comparisons. Now I've got none of the Stunticons left in their robot mode. I'll have to do a side-by-side shot once the combined video comes out, but I have got some photos I'll put up at the end. Here he is alongside my last review of Magic Square's Masterpiece Scale MX-06 Tornado. Interesting to see how the two arm bots scale up against one another. They are much the same size, and I expect that. Although, as I found out when I reviewed this guy, he stands quite tall just generally anyway. So yeah, that's a good comparison. That works for me. Very much a contrast of colours, but pretty good. Bit of a different comparison, but still Fanstoys alongside their Cup, their Coot. No way should Dragstrip stand taller than Cup, even if Cup's a little hunched. No, that's quite a different scale. But as I found out when I reviewed Spoiler as to how much he is bigger than a typical Masterpiece Carbot, therefore I'm not surprised that this guy is going to be taller than one of the more mid-range figures out there with Cup. Cup was never the smallest, but I wouldn't say he's the tallest either. Go on then, let's get a big comparison in. Here he is alongside Fanstoys Marg, their version of a Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. No real contrast other than they're the same company, but Dragstrip was never going to be anywhere near the size of Marg, but I guess it does show you that whilst he's taller than Cup, he's certainly nowhere near Maggie. And again, a more recent offering with the yet to be reviewed of X-Transbot's Gravedigger, their version of Scavenger. That's in keeping, that's fine, and that actually works quite well. Two different companies, but the paint schemes are quite vibrant on both of them. Very much going for the not so subtle robots in disguise, big vibrant green and yellows, but yeah, looking quite cool together actually. Okay, let's get this guy transformed up, shall we? And there he is in his alt mode. Very nice, very square, very blocky, very Dragstrip. I do like this mould. I am a Formula 1 fan, so this was always going to interest me, even if this is more maybe IndyCar. It's nice. It is very, very much a brick. And I think this is just a problem with Dragstrip's alt mode from Generation 1 days. The original toy was a brick, but this is very brick. You have this in hand, it's very apparent. And I think that's been more or less how he is depicted, but it would be nice if there were some aerodynamic bits on the side pods perhaps. It just looks very rectangular, very noticeable when you pick it up. I wouldn't mind a bit more definition on the sides. But yeah, otherwise looks really, really good. It is very much the vibrant colour of the set. When you put this alongside the other Stunticons, and you'll see more in a minute, it really kind of does the colour for the set. It's by far the brightest colour scheme of the G1 paint schemes. Very good, nice wide tyres, nice big tyres, nice chrome engine. Does everything really nice, like the red accents, even like the chrome exhaust. It does a good job for a very distinctive character design in this mode. Let's get in for a closer look. You see the nice little vents there on the 8-cylinder engine. Very nice, straight V8. You've got a nice steering wheel as well. Some companies, when they do Dragstrip, give him a tiniest little visor, and I wouldn't mind it as well. It is open cockpit, but I think it would just give it something. The last Dragstrip that I handled that was very different to this was the Generation Toy IDW style, and I really liked that. That was much more engine eccentric, like 1970s Formula 1. I thought that was really cool. The tyres are lovely. We've gone back to the chrome wheels. That's very nice. Nice thick, nice rubber, good ground clearance. Yeah, some good definition here and there. It probably is crying out for some racing livery on here, and you can maybe get some stickers for, but you'll lose the tune accuracy, which it has done. And as you can probably see, guess where his head is. But yeah, that's nice enough. It rolls very, very well in fact. Probably the best of the lot. Very nice and clear. You can adjust the exhaust if you want to. Not that you would want to, but you can. And just Very nice, very dense too. A lot of weight, very compressed here. And on the back, you've got these extendable pegs here that you can plug the underside of the guns on. Rather than a groove plugging in, there is a peg more so to line it up. You get that in there, and you can see there's a square peg at the bottom of the gun that goes in, but also the handle of the gun goes into this groove. And it's good. I like that. I think it's very reminiscent of the old toy. It doesn't have the big hangover effect that a lot of the old Stunticon toys did, but it kind of keeps the image whilst using the guns. And I'm never really sure why Dragstrip needs two guns, but it kind of works more in this mode, particularly either side of the cockpit, because you can't really have it singular. Maybe that's why. Maybe because the other modes did have a much more of a symmetrical car mode that you could put a gun down, a singular gun down the middle of it. For Dragstrip, you have to put two guns on either side, and it kind of adds a bit more to it. I think it looks quite cool. And that's about it. So on to some comparisons. I was very keen to do this one first. Here he is alongside Fanstoys Phantasm, their version of a G1 Mirage. So there is a lot more slenderness. This is a very narrow car. It is nice to see the distinct differences, but again, it is quite a size difference. And this is where I just feel, where I did the previous comparisons, and it came across more in robot mode, that there is a real size difference compared to the Masterpiece Carbot scale. And that even comes across in alt mode here. Look how much wider he is. Now, okay, triple changer, not a triple changer, combiner, not combiner. I get it. But still a Carbot, still very much a Decepticon grunt, and very much a Formula 1 car or a racing car. And they are still a fair bit apart. Different type of racer, six-wheeler, much bigger tyre. I can understand it, but yeah, still irks me a tad. My previous review of Fanstoys Spoiler, yeah, they do keep in scale very well. If you saw my review of that, you would have seen the comparison I did with them anyway, so that's expected to work well. I even remembered to tab in the back this time. And Fanstoys Magnum, their version of Wild Rider. Very cool. I still think that's my favourite of the set, even though I do like the colour scheme of this. Again, when you get them all together, they look really in keeping with one another. This is much more of a slender, much more of a road car, where this is very much a track car. And we might as well save time and get all of them together. This is how they all look, the four that have been released as of recording, or at least available in the UK. They look so cool. I'm just really tempted to keep these guys separate. They look really cool in their alt modes. They really have that G1 vibe coming across. And again, they're all kind of complementing each other, even though Spoiler wasn't my favourite. I kind of like how that colour scheme complements Magnum, and how Smokey complements the others as well, because otherwise these two are very dull colours by comparison. So they all complement each other. It's a very nice design that Fanstoys have really brought to life, and I'm really quite pleased I've got this set when I've got them all in alt mode. We'll see what it's like when Bandit gets here. And it's not really much of a comparison, but another vehicle mode alongside Fanstoys Parkour, their version of Cliff Jumper. Yes, just night and day, isn't it? It really shows you how big Dragstrip is. Just finally, I want to say before I do a final summary, this comes with the figure for its alt mode. It's just a half a driver to go and get plugged in. I'm really annoyed that I left that off photos and the figure itself. It's very small, very inconsequential, but it makes all the difference. Otherwise, it's just an empty car. I really like that, and if I keep him in alt mode, which I may do for the entire set, that might be how it goes in. Yeah, so sorry about that. I'm kicking myself that I left off that bit. So what is my view on Smokey Bacon? Well, I did like it when I first got it. Maybe I wasn't completely wowed by it when I felt what I was getting for, and it kind of made me not want to stay in for the set first time round. But I am a sucker for a racing car. I'm a motor racing fan, so that was quite cool. I do like the head that it comes with. I like the twin guns, even though I don't necessarily feel that Dragstrip needs two guns, and I've got a bit of an issue pegging in on mine, but that's just my copy. I like transformation. It's quite involved for an arm. I guess the only thing I'd say is a little bit off about it, and this seems to be an issue with this set as a whole, it's very slender. And yes, okay, he's going to turn into an aerodynamic racing car. Fine. What worries me, and some people have got more order completed already, I think the arms are going to be very thin from what I've looked at it. And looking at this, and how thin that is, it's cutting a very thin silhouette. And I wonder just how much this is going to look out of place on the combined form. It's something I noticed when I first got the figure, with the real like curved side panels of his front wing, which I think is good enough, but then completely flattened back. And I shouldn't be complaining that he hasn't got a backpack, if you know what I mean. It's nice that they've made it turn into this, and slender robot form, but it is quite noticeable, and it was the same with spoiler. Colours are lovely, purple's on point. Maybe the yellow is very deafening, if you know what I mean. There's very other minimal purple out there. The red visor's nice, but the red's very few and far between. Other than that, he just embodies yellow with the occasional bit of black tyre and some chrome here and there. So it wouldn't go amiss for some toy hack stickers, some detailing, maybe even some toy deco styling, as it were. Which is good, which would be fine, which would make sense, but it's a too aesthetic, and I can understand why it's like it. Broadly speaking, I'm nitpicking. It doesn't really do anything wrong. The transformation is clever and fine. The alt mode is fine, even if it is a bit of a brick. I wouldn't mind it a little bit more curved and stylised and aerodynamic and bumps here and there. But otherwise, it really does a job well for what it is, for what it needs to be. I've seen other drag strips out there from third-party offerings, and they are all much of a muchness. They're more or less similar. It's a very easy character to do. Small wheels at the front, big wheels at the back, and everything kind of goes in the same place. Other than going into an IDW variant, like I had with Generation Toy, there's not an awful lot you can rewrite the rulebook on. But it is a good set when you get them all together. They really do complement one another if they're in robot mode or otherwise. I've said this before, with these being 5-year-old figures, they do suffer from not having the modern day engineering that some of the more modern Fanstoys releases will have. How much more could it have, being that it's a Limbot and a triple changer? Yeah, alright, there is only so much that it could do, but it's just something I can guess you can say this is very much a 2020 figure. This is 5 to going on to 6 years ago now, and it kind of looks like it, however good it is. Based on this, I give this guy 3.5 for my star badges. I do like him, it is a recommend from me. I don't think he's necessarily the absolute perfect drag strip out there. I think other offerings from X-Transbots or DX9 or another company will give it a run for its money. And that's it. That is my review of all of the Stunticons released to date. So I did rush to get all 4 of them out with Bandit's release looming. I am hoping to pick this up this weekend, but I don't know if it will come out in time. But it will come out in due course. But that is my review of Fanstoys FT-31D Smokey, their version of a G1 Dragstrip. I'll put some photos up at the end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button, because I will see you on the next one.